Okay, so I've just resumed recording after just double checking the right way. So we are going to click manufacture, or we will already have been in manufacture because I think some of what I explained worked. We need to firstly go over to our setup. Setups? No, okay. We need to create a setup. Fantastic. Okay, there we are. We're in our setup. I'm going to click there to check. Ooh. Now, what do we need to name? Oh, we need to look for a name that starts with N. For now, I'm going to leave that out. Okay, so we've got our stock block. If we needed to change the size of our stock compared to our model, our stock being the wood that we're going to place in there, this is where we would do that. I am not super familiar with the exact stock size you will have, but I am somewhat familiar with the rest of this. Okay, work coordinate system, WCS, is where we set our starting point, which is these numbers, these sort of figures we can see here, for our machine. So right now it's saying that we're placing our wood on the machine table and the milling tool is coming down from the top and getting rid of it. Some machines have the ability to rotate the tool itself freely. We don't, so we have to work with what we have here. And that's where our little crosshairs come in. We're going to use those as at a selected point as a place to start our orientation. So our work coordinate system, we need to select an origin. So we're going to say origin, stock box, we're going to go down to selected point, and we're going to click the center of our circle. Now we need to reorientate it because right now our Z axis, which is the up-down axis, is coming from the top and bottom, and that just will not work for us. So we need to rotate it around. X, Y, well, no, can we? I know we can click these and I want to get the Z to come over here. Z axis. Oh, that was selecting. I want to select the Z axis. WCS origin, sketch. The Z is down there. We need our Z to come in from the side. Select the Z axis. Okay. Fantastic. So I hope you followed along, and you may need to pause and rewind that video. Apologies, there's a few things that sort of come along quite fast in this scenario. We might even set our x-axis to travel. Oh, didn't want that to happen. I like where my z-axis is. I want my x-axis to be that way, and I want my y-axis. Oh, dear me. Okay, let's go z-axis and y-axis. So what I'm trying to achieve here is I want the x, I want everything to sort of point into our, no, okay, we're going to have to just deal with this. I want everything to be pointing into our work, but it doesn't really want to do that, but that's okay. This will work in our machine. Alrighty, so we have a z-axis where we want it there, meaning that the machine is going to come from the left-hand side, okay? Let's press OK there. No model selected, all model solids will be used. Yeah. We need to name this. Right-click, rename, and we will... Oh, can we rename from here? Oh, crikey. Even if we can't. Let's set our milling. Okay, we'll go to our adaptive clearing as explained before, and when we select our tool, we should hopefully, now that we've loaded up that tool once, it should actually generate faster than it did last time. No, it doesn't. When you have used a tool, you won't have to, it won't be as hard to deal with. Give it a little second to think. I probably shouldn't have double clicked it that many times. Okay, select. Just check that it's recording. Yeah. I was worried I was taking too long, but 4 minutes is okay. Okay, so this is where our tool is going to come down. we have to, one thing's crucial. We're halfway there. We've got our setup working correctly. And now we just have to wait for the computer to work with this. There we go. Okay, so we've got our tool set, we've got our set to flood. Sorry, I had a little crash there. We need to go to our heights tab, okay? Our heights tab is now very important. Why is it important? Because currently, if we generate this toolpath, it will think the bottom is here and it will try and mill down to there. We can't have it do that. We need to drag the bottom to the middle, okay, to our point that we've done before. You may need to zoom in for this. I'm going to click my left there to get right on. If at any stage I do something and you are unsure what I do, feel free to just slow it down and trace, like look exactly where my mouse goes. So right now, this will work. This will mill that will mill down to the halfway section, any shape you've got. If your bottom has been dragged to the center of your sketch and your tool is coming in from the correct axis, your Z axis is set correctly from your work coordinate system when you went into your setup, then we should work okay. All right, now we'll see this screen loading, toolpathing, and from there we will, once the toolpath is generated successfully, you'll see there's a progress bar there. It says 8.6% currently. It actually fills without you, like as you mouse off it, it doesn't fill live with your mouse. When it is completely full, you'll get to watch what happens, and you'll see errors if there are parts where your tool we'll see in a moment where your tool sort of will clash with your model, and I suspect that will happen it may happen in this model. It actually might not, but if it is, it means you may need to change aspects of your design, because if you get red clashes in your simulation, it's going to clash in real life too if your stock and everything's set correctly. Okay, so that's changed to a green tick. So let's go to simulate. That's our next thing to check. And you'll notice this is all green. If there was a red in here, okay, there is some red. That means during that stage, if we press play, let's slow it down a bit too, okay? Let's go to here. That means in the process it's trying to do, it's part of the tool holder is hitting the existing stock. So it's saying, see there how the tool holder is cutting into the stock? That means you need to take that into consideration. Ways you might take that into consideration is you might have your tool cutting bit set further down in the tool holder. It's risky. The best way would be to adjust your model so that you don't run into that sort of an error. But that is all on your side of design. Currently, the machine will still try to do it. It says it's not going to be great with this red, but it will. Its attitude is, I'll do whatever you tell me to anyway. Okay, exit simulation. Fantastic. That is one toolpath done. Okay, if I was good enough to know how to rename this, edit. Can I edit that? Oh, I just want to rename it. I would rename that as left-hand side setup. But I'm not good at working out how to rename it. That's okay. Let's go back to, no, we want all that. We need to make a second setup now. Setup 2, okay? Again, I'm just no good at renaming. Okay. I need to, no model selected. Setup 1. Well, I do want other setups. I want to create a second setup. Oh, setup 3. We're losing some. Somewhere exists this second setup that I've now lost. Oh, crikey. Setup 4. Okay. just going to have to do some fancy editing here. Oh dear. Okay, it seems I've just had a win by clicking on the end of the word. I want to call this left because we came from the left as we view it. Okay, hopefully I edit this video enough that this works, but we want to come from the left there. We do need to get a setup that we call right. Okay, and perhaps you might want to call left lock. My first name being Lachlan, F1 left. Okay, because that's that's going to end up being our name that we use for our toolpath as well. And now I want to try and ideally get a setup. Oh. It really doesn't like me here. Oh crikey, what have I done? No valid toolpath. I'd love to see where I'm losing all these too. The heck just happened there? Oh gosh. Okay. Setup. So I'm going to go to setup, right click, new setup, and when I'm finished, I believe we'll be able to rename it. But now, for now, I just want to bring that out. So we've got our setup left. We're up to setup 12 because I've had a few errors. We need to set our work coordinate system again. We shouldn't need to change our stock. Our stock should be the same. We need to change our origin to a selected point. Our selected point will be this center here again. And now we need our Z-axis to be coming from the other side, okay? And all the others need to match as well. So we need to create our Z-axis over here. We're going to flip our Z-axis. And that's exactly how I wanted it the last time, but we need it to be different this time. And you've got to visualize how that's going to go in your machine, but that should work for us, okay? As long as that X is pointing out the back and the X is pointing out the back on both attempts. If you had the X pointing in one and the in one, what I mean to say, sorry, is if you had the X axis pointing inwards to your stock on one setup and outwards from your stock on the other setup, it would mean your direction of travel like your machine's visualization of the stock would be to, in one sense, one pass go over it, you'd rotate your stock in there to do the other side, and it will want to go backwards from that origin. As long as it's the same on both sides when you set it up and you watch the way that the tool travels before you put your object in there to be milled, it should be fine. Ideal world actually I couldn't work out before how to get that X-axis to point into there. I should have spent longer and made that the case on both. But as long as they're both the same, it will still work as long as you run your toolpath on the machine before you run against your stock, and you should always do that anyway to ensure that it's going to work. Okay, so we're going to generate a toolpath coming from this side. Everything else is fantastic. Let's go. Yes. And okay, that's our setup. Now we need to adaptive clearing. We've got our tool. We've got flood set to on. We've got our heights. Don't forget your heights. Oh, crikey. Okay, heights. I need to get right on the left face. I need to adjust my camera. I need to zoom in. Okay, I'm now going to press OK. And again, this will generate our toolpath, and we're almost done. Again, we're just waiting for this area over here to load, and then we are there. Almost there. We just need to tell exactly what machine we have. Cool, we've got our ticks. Tick, 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 tick. I'm going to change setup left to lock F1 right. So it appears I can only edit that after I've completed the setup. And it's so maybe do that after you've done your toolpath as well, because that's where it's working for me. Definitely wasn't working before. Post-process, I need to click here. NC Studio, we need it to say that. Now, you don't need to install anything on your computer. It should be ready to go. You just may need to find this. So open your library, and I've already got it selected on mine. But otherwise, you'll have a Fusion 360 library. Scroll down to Weihong NC Studio Programming System. That's all we need to do. That just says the machine that we're going to use, or the controller for the machine we're going to use. Oh, crikey. The post you are using is from the Fusion 360. Yeah. I'm just going to go cancel because I've already got it selected. But for you, it'll let you cancel. You might just have to press OK through all those things. Okay. Name. Lock, because we've got this selected, I'm going to go lock F1 right. Okay. And it's going to say your output folder. This is where you would select your USB stick or, whatever else you had available to your computer. I don't have anything available in this computer, so I'm just going to put it into documents. Okay. Select folder, and you can just go there. Has multiple setups with different work coordinate system settings have been selected. Your post must be customized to handle your setup such that the tool is clear of parts and fixtures when moving between different work offsets, machine zeros. Still posted it. Let's go and see what it actually posted. Did it give us 2 or 1? Lock NC right. Oh, okay. It only gave us the 1. Let's click in there and see, can we just post? I would love to just post the 1. Lock F1 left. Post. Okay, so it just posted that side, and we saw a little indication because the tool was over there. Let's double click in there, and then, oh, I don't want to edit it. Cancel that. Let's click in, there, have it highlighted in blue, similar to you see there. And we will post and attempt this once more. Lock F1 right. We just want that side to go so we can run it as 2 separate things. That looks like it handled it a bit better. So now if we refresh this, yep, we've got NC files, lock and F1 left and lock F1 right. And you would use your own names in there. Oscar F1 left, Oscar F1 right, or so on. Okay, that's it. They just need to be loaded up and tested in the machine, and they should work. I will edit these videos up and hope for the best. Thank you, bye.